What's up, folks? It's your boy Dad Tech 2.0, and today I just have an update on the Alienware m15R3 4K OLED. Now, I've been having this computer for a couple months. A lot of people watch the video, especially the one with the 300 hertz, but I don't have that one anymore because I decided to keep this one. They are the same computers. The only difference is the Tobii eye tracking software and, of course, the screen technology, which I preferred the 4K 60 frames over the 300 hertz 1080p screen. Now, how do I feel about this computer now that I've had it for about 2.5 to 3 months? Number one, all my loves and likes, dislikes and concerns are pretty much still the same, right? Except for one thing, which I'll mention later. But overall, it feels great. I have not had any major issues with this computer, whether it's day-to-day use or with Dell or Alienware software updates. They've been coming early and often. I have not had any major issues with it. And one of the things that scared me away from a Windows computer back in the past is, hey, it's fragmented. Hey, it's Windows, it's Dell. They don't have a good reputation. It's not as reliable as a Mac computer. All those things, I'm starting to have a different thought of them because this computer has been highly reliable. Now, of course, I've been doing minor work, especially writing for these videos and also using Microsoft Office and Excel and checking my email to work, because I can't check my email while on my Mac computer because something with the certificates for my ID card and all that, it just works better on Windows computers. I just choose this one to do it. But everything else has been great. The screen, still love it. Still crisp, still clear. Even though I had to get used to the 60 hertz, I got over that real quick. As long as I didn't have another computer, G14 over here looking a little jealous, next to it, I can notice it, but not as much as I used to, where 60 hertz used to look like it's robotic. And it's crazy because even if you buy the PS5 right now, it can max out at 60 frames per second and nobody's complaining about that. But yet on a computer, 60 frames per second is the bare minimum. I get it. Two different genres of gaming, and or it's two different styles of gaming. I get it. But it's crazy how depending on what we use, how our views change on the refresh rate. But I still love the screen. One of the things that I did have a concern with, and I think I mentioned in my video with this particular computer, was burn-in. But there's one thing that's installed on here that I didn't think I used, but it has a pretty good use to it, and that's the Tobii eye tracking software, where it pretty much tracks your eyeballs, not your head. Tracks your head too, but it pretty much tracks your eyeballs. So if it sees you looking at the screen, it'll keep the screen bright, but as soon as you turn it away and you can turn your head away and you can set the interval, it'll start getting dim, kind of like on Samsung cell phones. It has kept me from having a concern about burn-in. Normally I hide the taskbar down here, which could also, at some point or other have some some retaining issues and some burn-in down here. I normally hide it, but for the video I just have it up permanently. I'll change it back once I get back, but once I turn it off, oh, there it is right there. So normally I have it automatically hidden, and I keep the screen one color, fine. And then add that with Tobii eye tracking software, it's great. Now I can't see my face right now because I have my head behind the camera, but you'll see it dim here in a few seconds, just to give you an example. And watch this motherfucker just see my eyeballs looking at it. Just because I'm saying it'll go dim. But if you've seen it go dim and I move the mouse and then brighten back up, that's why. And as you can see, it's getting dim, and bam. And it'll just sit like that until it's time for it to go to sleep, whatever you have in your power settings. But if I stick my head up and then look at it, and hopefully it'll pick my head up, it'll brighten back up. I didn't have to use the mouse. And then when I look away, it'll dim back down. I think I have it set at 30 seconds, but that alleviates my concern about burn-in. So screen, definitely still a love. The white, right? The color. It was a concern at first, but not much of a concern. I have been careful with it, but maybe not as careful as I should. I've been sitting here eating. I've not washed my hands every time, or not had to wash my hands. I even not want to wash my hands every time I use this computer. But if it got dirty or if I waste something on it, I just wipe it off. Keys are holding up fine. The keys are holding up just fine. No major issues with it. The only issue, not issue, but the only place I do have a lot of marks on it is at the top where, I don't know if you can see in the right light, you can actually see my fingerprints on it. But that's just from the natural oils in my on my hands, and not necessarily from things that I've messed with or eaten or anything like that. But it's held up just fine. Up here, this piano black, if your OCD is kicking in, you'll be wiping this thing constantly. You'll be wiping it constantly. So let me log back in here. But overall, the screen has been holding up just fine. The color has been holding up just fine. And if I have any stains on it, it's easy to wipe off. So if you bought some kind of solvent to wipe it off that won't wreck the actual color and yellow it out, you know, that'll be fine. Now, longevity, whether it yellows out from old age, who knows? But I probably won't keep this computer that long anyway. Travel-wise, it's been easy to transport. I know I mentioned in my video before that this thing is a little bit bigger than your average computer or 15-inch computer, because it does have a little junk in the trunk in the back that has those nice exhaust tip lights. But it fits perfectly inside the bag that I purchased. A little snug, but a comfortable snug where it doesn't jostle around while it's in there. So I feel more happy with it in there snug than in it just jostling around like if I threw my G14 in there. So travel wise, it's been great. Gaming, it's been holding up well. I know I showed some examples in my last video, but gaming on this, yes, I had to get used to the 60 hertz, but once I did, it was just fine. It was just fine. And if I did need more than 60 frames per second, I just hook it up to my external monitor, and the 2070 Super inside this computer could push that just fine. Just fine. Normally I'll have this screen off, so it'll just push all of the graphical data straight to the monitor and not have to worry about powering two monitors. I have had some glitchiness with it, but not anything big. The only other glitchiness I've had with this in general is the trackpad, which sometimes is not as responsive as it should be. It only happens once in a while, and I probably could blame that on software updates, but sometimes it's not as responsive as it should, or it'll freeze up. Now, I've read in some forums that sometimes the Tobii eye tracking software and the trackpad software doesn't like each other, and it causes those glitches. Who knows? I haven't turned the Tobii eye tracking off yet, because I would rather have my screen not have burn-in, if that protects it, than to have a trackpad, which I barely use because I got that damn mouse that match. Like, coordinate. Sorry I don't have the colors matching today, because I've been using this mouse on multiple computers, and every time I put it on another computer, it just resets the color back to blue, or in this case, red. Battery life. Let's just be real. It's short. It's a damn gaming computer. What do you expect? It's a powerful machine. 4K OLED screen. RTX 2070 Super in here. Come on. Tobii eye tracking software. Multi RGB lighted keyboard. Exhaust tip lights in the back. It's not going to last long, right? It'll last a few hours if I need to have it unplugged for an extended period of time, but it's in no way will match that of the G14, which could last, I don't know, till you finish fucking doing what you got to do. Let's just be honest. I'll talk about that in another video. I won't even get into it right now. But this one, for the most part, it ain't long. All right, it is what it is. It ain't long. I've had it unplugged for about 15-20 minutes now, and it's at 95, and it says 2 hours and 22 minutes remaining. This is with the screen on max brightness. This is with it probably in the performance mode, almost best performance mode. And I probably can make some tweaks to get it in there to make it last a couple hours more, but I'm not going to leave it unplugged for that long. So if battery life is concerned for you, this is not the computer for you. But who games who games on the battery? Come on, folks. Anyway, moving on. Upgrading was extremely easy, right? The RAM you don't have to worry about. Yes, it's soldered to the board. Yes, I know some people are going to bitch and complain about it, but it's the same folks that probably bitch and complain about Apple's computers having RAM soldered to the board, and been having RAM soldered to the board since, I don't know, fucking 2015, 2016, probably even before that, and nothing's gone wrong. This is the same case, right? I think they did it because it keeps this computer slim and trim, which we like. I agree with that. I can deal with that. If it's a concern for you, buy the extended warranty. That way, if something does go bad with the RAM and you do need a motherboard change, guess what? It's covered. Send it in, or Dell will send somebody here to come fix it. They'll fix it, and you be on your merry goddamn way. But don't be concerned about the RAM. Get as much RAM as you can afford. In my case, because I got this at a great price, you know, I opted for the 32 gigabytes, right? I caught it at the right time. I got it at the damn good right time. So I did pop a extra 1 terabyte NVMe SSD in here, and that was basically a 10-minute job. Windows recognized it, I formatted it, and I was good to go. It took me a minute to figure out how to move my games over without reinstalling them from scratch, but a quick search of YouTube, and now that answer was right there for me, and it was easy, especially or at least for the services I use, which is Steam, Uplay, and EA Play, and then Xbox. But if I close it and then I flip it over, this back piece right here is real easy to take off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 screws total. I popped it right off. I like the fact that this thing is not plastic. It's actually metal, right? The honeycomb at the bottom is just fucking awesome. I ain't gonna even lie to you. It's awesome. But it was real easy to pop off. Put that thing in there. Put that NVMe in there and then power it back up. The only thing that I did have to do, and I did it on my own, not that it was needed, that they didn't have in here, was buy a heatsink for it. And I got that off of Amazon for like $7, right? The difference between this one and say the MSI GE66 that I had, the GE66 already had a heatsink already in there installed. All you had to do was lift it up, put the NVMe in there, close it down. For this one, I had to buy it, but I felt, you know, a little bit more secure and knowing that I had my own instead of the one that was installed in there. It did make it a little bit thicker, and if you want me to do a video on that to show you how I did that, I can. But you know, I don't like to get all technical in these videos because it can get deep real quick. Moving on. So no major issues with this computer, and that's a good thing. I'm extremely happy with it, and that's a great thing. So overall, do I still recommend this computer? And I have to say yes, but at the right price. Again, I'm gonna repeat that, at the right price. The 300 hertz one goes on sale at Best Buy pretty much once a month. So you just have to catch it at the right time. Check it daily. Or if you feel that, you know, right now, especially with these computers, are not the ones that you buy from Dell, but like the ones that you buy from Best Buy, which are the 300 hertz ones. I think they have the 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabyte hard drive or SSD. Those vary from $20.99 all the way down to $18.99. And then, so you know, Best Buy likes to push you those 10% off coupons, and then you can double on that and get it for even cheaper. If that's your route, like I say, it's nothing against the 300 hertz one. I still loved it. I think if I hadn't have bought this one, since this one, the only way you can see this one in person is if you buy one, because you're not going to find them in any store. If I had not took the gamble and bought this one, I probably would have kept the 300 hertz one, and I probably would have got it in that awesome ass dark side of the moon color that these fucking 4K models for some reason does not come in. What's up with that, Dell? Come on, peoples, get with it. But anyway, catch it on sale at the right price. It's a definite recommendation. And if they don't drop the price, or if they do drop the price, order it, wait till they start building it, try to cancel it. Every time I did that, when I changed my mind because I wanted to upgrade the RAM or get some more hard drive space, they've offered me at least $100 to keep it. And you know, it's better than nothing. I think the last person that commented in one of my videos on one of my on the 300 hertz one, he tried it and they offered him $50. But these days and times, especially during the holidays, they're already on sale. So they're probably not going to offer you as much, but it's worth a shot. Who knows? You may get lucky. I did. I think I paid just over $2,100 for this computer. And if you build it right now in Dell, and I have it in my cart, bam, before taxes, $21.95. The exact same build that I have right now. And I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can zoom in on your computer. But let's see if I can zoom in. Boom, there it is right there. Oh, hold up, $21.95 total. And that's before taxes. That's before taxes. So you can get this computer spec'd out just like mine with the Core i7-10875, RTX 2070 Super, 8 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte PCI EM2 SSD, 4K OLED, 400 nits, DCI P3 color gamut, and Tobii eye tracking software. All of those good things. Wi-Fi 6. I haven't had any issues with that. I know I didn't mention it, but it wasn't worth mentioning if I didn't have an issue with it. And then, of course, the savings that I have, extra 10%, because this is the sale that's going on right now. And then what they just did gave me an instant discount. So this is a good price right now, in my opinion, for what you get. Now, whether you want to wait until next year when the 3000, I'll just call them 3000 series NVIDIA cards come out, and the mobile versions of those cards come out, that's on you. And that will just make the price of these cheaper. But you got to be patient, right? You just have to be patient. If you need it now, if you want to get it for your kid, because this is dad tech, right? Even though I changed it to DT, but you want to get it for your kid and get it for a cheaper price, get it now. If you want to wait it out because you want it for yourself and you want the best graphics card that you have, be patient and wait till maybe the first or second quarter of next year when those mobile versions of those 3000 series cards come out. I haven't done any research on when they are coming out, but you know, once I do, I'll probably mention it in my video. So overall, I am extremely satisfied with this computer. It's been great. Again, I was concerned in my old video about the screen and the burn-in. Not so much. Tobii eye tracking software solved that issue. I was concerned about it getting dirty. Not as much, because trial and error, right? I got it dirty. I wiped it clean. No major issues. I did get the monthly plan, as I mentioned earlier, because they give you the option of getting the monthly premium support, and that's roughly about $20 a month. But even that was discounted when I got it. And the good thing about that is, since I didn't buy it flat out, if I didn't want it anymore, if I decided to sell this, I could just fucking cancel it and not pay them the $400 and something odd they want flat out for 2 years. So if you're thinking about getting it and you're unsure about whether you're going to treat it good, treat it as well as it should, or you got some small kids that can, get in there and mess it up or waste something on it, protect yourself and not waste almost over $2,200. Just my recommendation. Your mileage may vary. So that's about all I have. Hit me in the comments if you have any questions regarding the Alienware m15R3 4K OLED, or even the 300 Hertz one, because they're both the same damn computer. I guarantee if you do get this computer in this particular model and you love screen technology and the 4K, you won't be disappointed. This is Dad Tech 2.0. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.